What's up, everybody? I don't even know if you can hear me or not. I'm going to try to talk. I'm actually on the road right now. I'm having to drive. It's Easter Sunday, if you can believe that. Angie wanted to go to her family to have Easter. That's fine. You know, I've been talking about how it's not really what it is. But, you know, I told her she can have it. It's going to be between her and God, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I called my mom because I needed to, somewhere along the line, I needed to explain to my mom that, you know, what my new beliefs are. You know, where I'm coming from, what I'm doing. And I figured today would have been a great day. You know, I could call her up, I could come up, and I could spend maybe like a couple hours with her. We could talk and do the whole thing. So I called her up, and she's not doing too well. She's got problems. She's got this blood disease that it affects her nerves, and she's doing this medication thing to get rid of it, but at the same time she's got this diabetes medicine that I think is probably affecting it as well, and she's getting these infections in her fingers. She's already lost several fingers. It's really bad. So, you know, she said that a couple nights ago she fell while she was going to the bathroom, and she had that's weird. There's a Winnebago over here that has he had a thing of the United States on the back of it that had stickers of all the states they went to, and I was just like, okay, that's weird. It has Hawaii on it. I wonder how they're going to get the Winnebago to Hawaii. But anyways, she said that she fell, and something happened to her finger, and it got real swollen, and then it went down yesterday, but everybody kept telling her to go to the emergency room, and she wouldn't do it. So I told her, I said, I was thinking about coming up there anyways. Do you want me to come up? So here I am. I'm driving up north to go take my mom to the hospital on Easter. That's what I'm doing. Which is lovely. So everybody's been talking about the churches. You got to kind of, I don't want to say you got to be living under a rock, because honestly, when I first heard it, I heard it today about maybe about 10:30, give or take. I heard it about 10:30, and the first thing I did was I got on the news, got on Google to see about what they were talking about, and I didn't really find much. I found a couple things here or there, and then I guess it was just because it was just at the start of the news cycle, I guess, because it wasn't even 30 minutes later that it exploded. I started hearing more and more stuff about it. So anyways, if you didn't know, there were 3 churches, and I think it was, somebody said it's up to 8 bombings now. So I guess 3 churches and 5 hotels, 5 luxury hotels got bombed. And they're saying the last number I heard was 217 people are dead and 450 plus are wounded. I heard a couple of them before that saying that it was 210. I even heard the number 216. So you know how I like to do the math. Now, I'm not saying that this is anything to be anything, but then again, you never know anymore. But you can do the quick math on that. 450 plus 216, that's a 666. But now it's 217, so it's a 667. It'll probably go up. They'll probably change it. But I just thought it was interesting that the amount of wounded compared to the people that had actually died equal a number. Now, again, that doesn't mean anything. I just find it interesting. You can find it interesting. So, okay, he's gonna be there. I like the off ramps, man. You got to worry about the people around here. They're kind of kooky. But it's kind of messed up, man. You know, the first things I heard about it were that there was, it's almost like it's not like it was complete martial law. They got a curfew going on right now, from what I understand. And then I heard that there's a social media blackout, that Facebook and Twitter both have completely shut down in Sri Lanka, I guess is where it was. They said around the capital of Colombo. Actually, Richie from Boston already made the connection between Colombo and Colombia, which is interesting, you know, because we're doing the whole Ishtar thing. I roll my eyes. There's so many. I used to roll my eyes at people because people are just ridiculous. But now it's like every time I see something, it's like I got to roll my eyes at it. It's like, you know, oh, look, there's a number pattern right there. You know, I mean, it's one of those things. But I have to laugh at it because it's just becoming ridiculous at this point. You have a church fire not even a week ago of one of the biggest churches in the world that was preempted by several other church fires that nobody else wanted to talk about, that were arson, that happened in Paris, that apparently has been happening for a while now. There was somebody that had made a map, took a map of France, Paris, whatever. I think it was France. I think it was the entirety of the country. And they were talking about all of the church arsons, church fires, church whatever that have happened within the past, I don't know, 5 years. And it's like just an insane amount, absolutely insane amount. And then, of course, you get the one that not many people are talking about, but there were 3 church fires that happened in Louisiana, not even a couple days after the Notre Dame. So it's like, it's one thing after another, and it's just crazy. So now you've got these church bombings. And it was interesting. When I first looked up the church bombings today, when I first looked up the 3 church bombings today, one of the first things that came up on the same page on Google as you go down was there was a bombing in a church that happened in January. I don't remember where that was. I think they said the Philippines. I think it's where they said it was. I don't remember hearing about a church bombing in January in the Philippines. Now that one they blamed on like religious extremists. So, you know, that I don't know what to say about that. I don't have anything to say about that. I have already said that everything at this point is suspect. Everything. If you accidentally run over a squirrel in a road, it's suspect to wonder if the Illuminati put that squirrel there at this point. Seriously, that's not everything at this point. I wonder. It's like, what the heck? That sounds crazy, I know, but still, keep up with me. So, man, I don't know. You know. Apparently they were Roman Catholic churches, and of course, you know, the people that are in these churches, they don't really know any better. I'm not gonna start the whole, you know, which religion is better nonsense. You know, it is what it is. But the fact that these people were putting their faith into somebody called Christ, and they went to a church and somebody decided to bomb it. I just had a ridiculous thought. What if they decided to call these church fires, or these church bombings, not the fires, the bombings, an accident? That would be them, though, you know. Oh, it was just an accident. Somebody just happened to be wearing a suicide vest, and they just happened to set it off while they were in church. It happens, you know, just like random ass fires happen on Notre Dame. It absolutely happens, just randomly. Get that nonsense, man. So when we got up today and we left the house, I looked outside and it was perfectly blue, crystal clear, perfectly blue, nothing at all. And I looked up over to the north, which is up this way, which you can't see. I'm not going to pull the camera because I'm trying to drive and I don't trust all these people around me. But over here to the north, the only thing I saw at the time that we got in the car and we left the house was there were two big X's in the sky. You know what that is. And that was all I saw. And then as we drove out to her mom's house, I saw a couple more. You know, there was another big X to the south, you know, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And then as we're getting out there, I start seeing the lines. It was like, they were like freaking cocaine lines, you know, through the sky. There were like 4 or 5 of them in a row. And I'm thinking, well, okay, you know, that just means we're probably going to get rain for the next 2 or 3 days. So it's been, I dropped her off at noon. It is 1:10 right now. Actually, I dropped her off about 2, so it's not even an hour. I think I dropped her off about 12:15. It hasn't even been an hour yet. And this one, the big X that was up here to the north, has just turned into this big ugly cloud that it's spread from one side of my window to the other. Man, come on now. Come on, guys. They're going to call that natural. Whatever. You're either going to see it or you're not at this point. I mean, seriously, you're going to see it or you're not going to see it at this point. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Nobody's looking. Nobody's going to look because nobody cares. Everybody's too busy looking at their phones or too busy looking at anything else. I have actually made a game of it. Every time I'm on the road, I will see just how many people are actually looking up instead of looking down into their steering wheel. You'll get those people that will literally just have their phone right here, like they don't give a shit. They don't care, and nobody's gonna pull them over. Nobody's gonna pull them over because cops don't care anymore. People just don't care anymore. We've become the society where it's like, if you live, you live. If you die, you die. What does it matter? That's sad, man. And I used to be that way. I used to understand that logic. I really did. I used to absolutely understand that logic. That it was just like, I don't care, man. Whatever. It's my life. You know? I don't give a shit. It actually got to the point, because I used to be really suicidal, that I used to think, man, you know what? Screw everybody else. Let them live their crap ass life, however the way they're going to. I would rather be the one that dies. You know, kill me. Don't worry about everybody else. Let them live whatever they're going to live. Because, you know, even back then I knew that, you know, people are just gonna drive themselves into a grave. That's all they're doing. That's all it is. People just don't care anymore. And I have no idea how to make people care anymore. It's a really, you just can't. There are good people out there, but people can be corrupted, you know? People always get corrupted somehow, some way. So I'm going to do my best, to be able to try to stay uncorrupted. I don't know. But as far as the church things are concerned, if you don't understand that this is a pure and malicious attack on a specific religion. I can't tell you otherwise. It's like I said, a lot of those people may not know. They don't know what they're in. They don't know the lies of this world. They just know what they're told, just like everybody else. We just know what we're told. We don't look into anything for ourselves. And unfortunately, when you do look into stuff for yourself, you find out that you've been lied to, and then it's just like, man, what the heck, And that's rough. When you wake up to the big picture, it kills you, man. It really does. It kills you. And you just all you want in life from that point on is just to wake other people up, just to say, look, this is terrible, man. This is pure evil, and we've been told this for all of our lives, and there's a way to change it. There's a way to change it, is to know that it's there and to wake up and to see it. That beard is really long. I'm sorry. I just happened to see it. Angie had actually made a comment about my beard this morning. I didn't really understand. I didn't really understand it. Now I just took a look at it. Yeah, it's because the place where I work, we have to be pretty in order to work there. So I'm like, this is about as pretty as I get. I think it's ridiculous that they haven't said anything about it. And there's been other places I've worked at that haven't said anything about it. But if they say something about it, I'm just gonna be like, is the length of my beard really gonna affect my productivity? Is it? I don't know. This is a pure attack on Christianity. That's all I can say about it. It is what it is. And supposedly they shut down the social media because they didn't want hate for other cultures to start popping up. Like this happened, and the first thing we would do was to blame Muslims, or to blame somebody else. I don't know who to blame. I don't know who they're going to blame it on. I find it interesting, though, that the first article that I read, they said that the witnesses that were there that saw the people that could have done it, they were of a different, what did they say? Different racial something. I don't want to say perception. It was they named it really weird. But basically they were saying they were of a different race, and that's how they could tell that they were some kind of extremist. So I'm like, okay. Sri Lanka, most people in Sri Lanka, as far as I understand, are brown. Some of them are dark brown. That's the color of their skin. That's the way it is. So anybody that you would think would do that to a church is also dark brown. So how different of a skin tone would you have to be for somebody that lives in Sri Lanka to think that you were a foreigner? I think that's what it was, is that they were of a different racial something, that you could tell that they were a foreigner, and that's how they knew that it was some kind of, some kind of extremist or something. I don't know. So who would it be? How would you be able to know who that was based upon the color of their skin? Because the extreme darker to the brown and black would be just pure black, and the other extreme would be white. So, who are they going to pin this one on? I'm just curious. I don't understand where that logic went. And again, I can't make that stuff up. That's just the first. That's just the first article that I read, that I happened to read on this whole thing, was that they were saying that we could definitely tell they were foreigners because of the color of their skin. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. It's weird. I don't know. It's just it was a weird way to put it. And whenever they put it out there like that, then that's whenever you kind of got to look at it and think, okay, who are they going to pin this one on? Because it just seems, unless they want to say it was an accident, and then you could just call bullshit on it, because it's just it doesn't make any sense. Man, these potholes suck. I don't know if this is even picking up. I didn't even test this. Oh crap. Oh, these potholes are terrible. So I don't know if you're picking any of this up. I don't know if you guys can actually hear every time I hit a pothole, because I can hear it. Every time I hit a pothole, it echoes inside of this car. But yeah, man, these potholes. Every time I hear a pothole, it's just like ka-thunk. I don't know how this is going to work. I mean, I may just be wasting my breath. This is the first time I've ever tried recording something, just to see, recording something inside of the car, just to see if I can. I had these thoughts in my head, and I figured I'd go ahead and get them out, because I think about stuff, whenever you sit at work for 8 hours a day. And then on the way home, you're just like, you have all these thoughts going in your head, and I constantly think, this would be a perfect time just to talk about it, instead of trying to save it all up for, a weekend where most of it I'll probably forget anyways, and most of the really good stuff I'll probably forget anyways. There we go. So I don't know. I wonder, because the big thing that came around, the one I don't think I talked about it in the episode I did a couple days ago. Actually, I was yesterday. It's Sunday. I did that Saturday. So the thing that I did yesterday, I don't think we talked about the 3 days of darkness that are supposed to be coming. That just look at that sky, man. That was perfectly blue less than an hour ago. And now it's full of streaks. The entire sky is full of streaks. I'm heading north, and before, north was all completely blue. It was blue from the top all the way down to the earth. I was even going to tell Angie, I said, that's the way it's supposed to look. But now it's like gray. It's like gray up until a point, then it's just blue, and there's streaks. There's these stupid white streaks all over the sky. Ugh. What was I saying? It's 3 days of darkness. That they're the woman. I listened to it, and she was talking about the 3 days of darkness, that the Lord had given her a vision of this, and she wrote it down on like 5 or 6 pages or something. I don't know exactly what it was. And she said that it was supposed to happen around this time. It was supposed to happen on Passover. The whole thing where the sky's going to go out and all the electronics are going to fail, and you basically just have to board yourself up inside of a house until it passes for 3 days. And they were all the demons were going to be let loose and all this other kind of stuff. So I didn't know how really to take it. I don't know if you can take that a certain way or not. It is what it is. But I was kind of thinking, what if it was kind of a metaphorical thing? I mean, she got like specific instructions, on what to do and what how to handle it and all that stuff. And I'm just like, what if it was just, it's going to be 3 days of just pure evil set upon the world, blowing up churches and doing all kinds of other stuff. We haven't heard about anything that happened yesterday, but then again, we don't know. Something very well could have happened yesterday, and we just can't tell. It just popped into my head. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell anything. Just don't know anything anymore. It's very hard to understand what's happening in the world anymore, because it's gotten so messed up, just absolutely got messed up. I'm not even supposed to be here today, man. Really, all I wanted to do today was just stay at home and play video games. I know that sounds lazy, especially for all the stuff we're talking about. That just sounds lazy. I really thought I was going to get a day off tomorrow, but I forgot that nobody gives out Easter holidays anymore at works. I did. I thought we were going to get a day off. I kept telling Angie, I was like, so when everybody else is going to celebrate their day off, I'm going to go downstairs into my man cave, if you want to call it that, and I'm going to clean it out. I'm going to clean out a lot of garbage just down there, because I've got boxes and boxes of just crap that I've already started cleaning a lot out. We made a video of that a couple weeks ago, last week. Yeah, not yesterday, last week. And I was like, I've got so much other stuff that I could get rid of, or we could take to Goodwill, or I could start trying to sell some of this stuff, because I've got tons of collectibles that I don't really need anymore. So I was like, yeah, we could get rid of this, but apparently I'm not getting my day off. So I was like, well, okay, never mind. So I have to figure out something else I could do. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to work is what I'm doing. I'm going to work and I'm going to be like, hey, what the hell am I doing here? Not that it matters, because I'm not really celebrating Easter anyways, but, depending on who you ask, apparently you're supposed to take like the entire week of Passover off. I don't know. Like the entire week of unleavened bread you're supposed to take off. I think. I don't know. Man, it's so hard to know. It is. I don't know. I told you yesterday when we had our Passover dinner, and it was kind of a cluster, because we didn't exactly know what to do and what to buy at the store and all that. And it's been that much more of a cluster that we don't even know what we're actually supposed to be eating, because Angie has looked up, what you're supposed to eat on a Passover, what you're not supposed to eat on a Passover, and all this stuff. And then, she comes back to me with it saying, we're not supposed to have this, we're not supposed to have that. We understand we're not supposed to have any leavening, and we're not supposed to have certain other things, but then there's like this whole fructose corn syrup thrown in there. There was some other kind of something that we went through. You're not supposed to mix your I should probably turn that down, shouldn't I? I don't even need that. You're not supposed to have, or you're not supposed to mix meat and milk or something. And last night we were she came back to me, she asked me, because we had chicken quesadillas, and she was like, we can't eat this, right? Because it's, we're mixing meat and cheese. And I said, okay, but where are you getting this information from? Because we've been finding out that the Jewish customs change between the different sects of Judaism. Like these people believe in this, and these people believe in this, but they won't believe in that. And you're supposed to cut this out of here and do this and do that. And it's just insane. It's just absolutely insane. So I said, okay, fine then. I will test it for myself. And I looked up Christian Passover, to see if there's anything in there that would help me out. And it led me to a passage. I do not remember that passage to save my life. And I read through it, and at the end of it, the Lord was talking about, how to keep the Passover and all this. Make sure you take a lamb of a certain thing and yada yada yada, and go through and keep all the leavening out. And at the very end, there's one line that says, "You shall not." What was in the King James it says, oh crap, I can't remember the actual word, but in the King James it basically comes out to, you shall not boil the kid in its mother's milk. And apparently from that line is where everybody thinks that you're not supposed to drink or not supposed to eat meat with dairy. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Look, there's a tic-tac-toe board up there. That's gonna be like the big. That's gonna be like the big thing that you can do with your kids in a car on car trips. Is you're gonna get. This will probably be a thing too. They'll probably make these like wipeable markers that you can do tic-tac-toe in the clouds. That'll probably be the big thing. Look, kids, it's fun. It's fun to do. Fun to do in a car. Play tic-tac-toe with the clouds. We do it for you, kids, because we love you and we want you to have fun. Here, let's make an entire checkerboard. Have these like little sticky checker pieces that you can put on the window. Sarcasm. Sorry, sarcasm. Anyways, back to the kid. Boiling the kid. I was like, there's plenty of other places where God says about eating meat. I said, this doesn't say anything about you should not cook the meat. You should not cook the meat in the milk. And I said, there's nothing that says that. I had to go to Strong's Concordance to be able to find it, to be able to look it up. I was like, okay, what in the world does milk mean? So Strong's Concordance, milk, pure and simple. So I'm like, all right, fine. Milk, okay. So what does a kid mean? And it literally said, it's a kid, it's a baby goat. And I was like, that's a very specific. Why would he be telling us not to boil a baby goat in mother's milk? That's weird. That's weird. So I said, you know what? It doesn't. I mean, if we're doing it wrong, then I apologize now to the Lord and to everybody else for even remotely thinking about misleading anybody. But if he meant that we're not supposed to take dairy with meat on Passover, then he would have specified meat. He would not have specified a baby goat. Not only that, but specifically specified in his mother's milk. What the heck does that mean? And I'm sitting there, and the entire thing, it's not like it's an allegory or anything like that. You look through the whole passage and it's very specific things, that he says to do. And that just seems like a very specific thing. So I didn't look it up last night. And I didn't look it up this morning. I'm going to look it up. What if one of the rituals that these people do for one of these 4 big holidays that we've talked about, what if one of them was boiling a baby goat in its mother's milk? What if that was a thing? What if that it makes you, oh man, there's an idea just flashed in my head. What if it makes you think about these milk baths that they talk about. They talk about these milk baths that people are doing now, and you see it everywhere. What if that's a thing? What if that's what he meant? What if that's some kind of a cult practice? And some people have said it is. Blood baths, milk baths. We're not supposed to even drink milk or we're not really supposed to drink milk after, we feed a certain point. Because there's apparently stuff in milk that it's got some kind of a carcinogen in it or something that does something to our bodies. It's messed up. Milk and eggs. That was nice. I heard that one. I'm like, son of a bitch, man. I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. You guys are going to have to go look that stuff up for yourself. It's too ridiculous. But what if that's a thing? What if that's something he was trying to keep us from? I don't know. I'll tell you what. Since we've been doing this whole, since we've been doing the Passover and the unleavened bread, yesterday I was starving. You never know how many snacks you eat until you can't eat snacks. Whew. Man, you don't know how much, because we were talking about it, and she was like, well, you could snack on some bread, or, snack on this, snack on that. And I was like, I've already done that. If I was snacking on the bread, because if I wasn't eating the unleavened bread, I would be eating potato chips. Seriously. Because that's what I would have done. I would have finished off that bag of potato chips that we still have. And yes, unfortunately, we did not throw everything out because we were not prepared for this. Next year, we will prepare to where we will burn everything out before we throw it away. We threw a lot away, actually. Believe it or not, we did. We threw a fair amount of stuff away. We went whole hog spring cleaning on the pantry. We threw a lot out. But there was just some stuff that we were like, I bet you we had a good 20, 30 pounds of food that had leavening in it. Pancake mix that she's had for a while, and cereal that we've had. These are 2 unopened boxes of cereal. There were like 5 or 6 cans of SpaghettiOs. Should have donated them. I mean, now I feel like crap because we didn't donate them. But it was stuff, just stuff that we had that she didn't really want to get rid of. And honestly, I was like, I understand, because this is, it's not like we can get rid of food like that. So I said next year after we get through this first kind of round of it, now that we've set the ground rules and we understand what we're doing, because we don't know. Again, we've never done this. Not many people have ever done this. I told her the other day, I said, you know what? I bet you nobody in either one of our families has ever tried to have a Passover for over 1,000 and probably 1,500 years. I bet you no one in either one of our families has even tried to do this. So, we don't know. We're still learning. Another thing I noticed too, and I don't know if this has anything to do with anything. The trees are not blooming like I would think they should be. It is April the 20th, and there is so much death out here. All the trees. I mean, all the little bushes are sprouting, which is nice. We're starting to get green again. But the actual trees are not sprouting up yet. There's a couple of them here and there, but the majority of them just are not sprouting. I would think that, I know that it's still cold. I think it's like maybe 50, 60 degrees today. But they should be sprouting. Some of them are. Not all of them, though. The evergreens are still there, but, I already said the evergreen may be the tree of life. I've already said it. That's why you see all those guys holding the pine cones in their Easter baskets, which is where that comes from. I'm sure that's where that comes from. I mean, you can hunt back the eggs, and they painted eggs. They actually painted the eggs with the blood of their children. They used to paint the eggs with the blood of their children. That's why you have red eggs. And they used to worship rabbits. And they would kill a pig because a pig killed their kid or killed their king. And they would cry and weep for that king for 40 days and 40 nights. And they put the eggs in Easter baskets, which resemble the baskets that the fallen ones brought down to earth with their pine cones, which coincidentally happen to look like eggs themselves. Put it together. It's a puzzle piece. Put the pieces together. It's all there for you. I gotta stop talking. I'm coming up to this place, so I gotta start driving again. It's been 41 minutes, so I think that was a good talk. If I talk anymore, I'm just gonna get more and more upset and probably start raising my voice and shouting and doing all that. Hopefully this came through, because this is a good talk. This is a good way for me to get some stuff out, and keep me from getting miserable driving on the road listening to truth stuff. Because again, when you get too far down the rabbit holes, man, you start losing it. So you guys take it easy. There's a barn out there that's completely falling apart. Looks like a tree fell over in it. It's an old barn too. Alright, you guys take it easy. Be safe out there. Have a good Passover if you're celebrating. If you're celebrating Easter, be careful. Know what you're getting into. If you didn't know what you're getting into, and if you don't believe a word that I said, go look it up. Go find it. Don't just take Wikipedia's advice on it. You're not going to find it that way. Go actually find a couple different places to acknowledge anything I've said. It's Ishtar. It's Isis. It's Tammuz. It's pagan. It's pagan, and you will appreciate the fact that you don't have to go spend $50 to $100 on candy. Put it that way. Because that's a beautiful thing, not having to spend all that money on a bunch of crap that you probably don't need anyways. So you guys be safe. Like, comment, subscribe, or don't. It doesn't matter. And I wish you all well in all your future endeavors. The sign on the church back there said the Bee Gees aren't the only ones that are staying alive. I wish you all well in all your future endeavors, and I hope that the world lasts for you. God bless you all. Take care. Watch out in these days. These are the purely satanic days. From March 23rd all the way until May 1st. But especially between April 15th and May the 1st. These are the worst. These are the worst days. We're just going to see more and more crap. That was a billboard for Christmas trees. Probably from last year, but still. Ugh. All right, you guys. Stay safe.